welcome to the Questionnaires podcast, where each week we source the best questions from Yahoo Answers and attempt to provide the best advice from.
If I took a cat from Germany and put it in Japan, would it understand the local cats?
2.
Why don't humans have a mating season?
We're here to prove that every question deserves an answer. Join with me this week, as always, is Marcus.
Hello there, guys.
And Damien.
Hi, Tom, and I'm here to prove that every season is mating season when it comes to your boy Damien.
Oh, boy. All right.
Hold on. I feel like humans do have a relatively same mating season. And this is, hear me out. How many birthdays do you know are in January or in September? There's a lot. There's certain months that are absolutely packed.
Okay, seeing as Marcus is now an anthropologist, what do you think the sexiest month is?
No. I don't know about the sexiest month. I could just tell you a lot of people bang New Year's Eve day, because September is 9 months later. That's what I'm thinking.
So literally welcoming in the new year with a bang is what you're saying?
Yes, somebody's banging, and that's it.
I always feel like the biggest months are like from June to September, I would say. I feel like when I remember like going to 18th birthday parties, that's when it all sort of started. That's when everyone started turning 18. So I would say they're the sexy, but the winter months are the well, that would mean if you count back, that you count back 9 months from there, you'd probably say that that means September to December are the sexy months. Yeah. Springtime. It's when the birds and the bees are out and
Exactly.
So that's where that euphemism comes from. The talk about the birds and the bees. It's because, hey now.
That makes perfect sense. I just noticed Marcus is wearing a San Francisco Giants t-shirt, and I'm in my bedroom right now. And Marcus, guess what I sleep in? I sleep in a San Francisco Giants t-shirt. That's exactly the same.
It's so strange. I wonder where you purchased that from, Tom.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on. Damien, you do you have one? You can join our club of the three Giants.
I'm wearing my San Francisco Giants G-string at the moment, but I don't want to show you guys that. So.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I was going to rock the G-string at the game, but I decided I'll go for the T-shirt instead.
Yeah, you get that whale tail. You get that the San Francisco Giants whale tail hanging out. We saw them all the time at the baseball stadium. Tom, don't you remember?
Super popular, very popular. How's it going anyway, guys? You enjoying yourselves this fine Saturday afternoon?
Yeah. It's been an eventful morning for me. I went for a bike ride this morning, and I was I was doing my normal bike ride things, 1080s and like bar spins and all that sort of tricks.
Yep.
And I managed to fall off the bike doing all these mad tricks. No, seriously, I fell off at like the most mundane way ever. I was at like a stop sign sort of thing, and my seat's too high and I just fell off losing balance. It was the most uncool way. And the worst part is a car was driving by, so they saw that too. They just saw me go, "Oh!"
The way you described it made it sound like it was the equivalent of I went to go press the brake, but I pressed the accelerator and I crashed through a storefront. Like that was sort of like your brain wasn't processing the right thing and you just fell off.
Yeah, it was pretty much that. Like I said, my seat's a bit higher that I can't put both feet at the ground at the same time. And I just recently changed that to my bike, and then I just lost balance. I'm like, oh shit. So instead of putting any feet on the floor, I put no feet on the floor and I fell over.
You put your face on the floor instead.
Yeah,
Did you hurt yourself? Are you bleeding anywhere, Marcus? Did you?
I am bleeding. My thankfully my partner is a doctor and she took care of me once we got home. It was really nice of her. Perfect. Yeah, I have like a tiny scratch.
She just like, is there a doctor anywhere? And she just suddenly is not a doctor, and she's like, I don't know, is there a doctor anywhere?
Has your girlfriend had that moment yet where someone said, is anybody a doctor? Has she had that movie moment,
No, not yet. She's always like worried that on a plane that'll happen.
Right.
Is anyone a doctor here? And she's like, what do I say? And I'm like, you can be quiet. Like, I don't know what you would do. I would be quiet, but that's me. I'm not a doctor though. So.
And my next question is, has anybody ever said, or you've been out in the wild, is anybody an accountant? Has you ever needed emergency accounting at any time?
Plenty of times. Usually I'm out for dinner and I'm sitting there and then the bill comes and then somebody just yells out, we need an accountant here right away, because, basic math doesn't seem to work for a lot of people. So
So not out of necessity, just because people can't be bothered working out how to split the bill is essentially why it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Let this guy do it. He loves numbers. Give him a chance to count things, and he'll count all afternoon.
He froths 7, 8, 9. He's like the count, man. Don't worry about it.
That's the thing. I guess we're here like every week talking about advice, but we never give any financial advice or number advice. Marcus is being severely underutilized, I feel, for the most part.
Ask some questions about numbers, guys.
And I think our audience is very thankful for that. Nobody wants to hear about that stuff.
Let me tell you how you can offset the balance of your loan. No one wants to hear that.
I do have a friend who listens to our financial podcast, and because of that, they got into like the stock market and stuff. And they were trying to sell it to me, and I was like, I was upfront with them. I'm sorry, man. I can't do it. I cannot listen to a financial podcast, even if it'll make me money. I just can't do it.
Literally, I find nothing more boring. I do not understand the stock market and how it works. The closest thing I've gotten to getting involved in the stock market is the stalk market in Animal Crossing, which is buying turnips and selling them. That's all it is. It's like, as long as I sell my turnips for a higher price than I bought them, then I make money.
I have been tempted to just like buy a share in Dell, just so I can say, yeah, I've played the stock market before, but I just want one share. I don't want to buy multiple.
Yeah. Look, let's just not live too dangerously with a volatile thing like the stock market. But one thing that we can do that's very safe is provide advice to people that probably will never hear it from the website Yahoo Answers, which is what we are here to do. It's what we do each and every week. We find questions on the website Yahoo Answers. We try to provide advice to these people and help them on their way. That's how the show works. The other thing we do is we choose a theme for each week to name the question askers. And it's my theme this week. And I thought we all like playing video games from our childhood onwards. I thought let's name our question askers after a video game that you like, that you think is maybe either not universally liked or maybe just a little bit more unknown, on the unknown side. So something that you've played, enjoyed, maybe didn't get the reception that's publicly that it was that you would sort of disagree with. You enjoyed it.
All right, I'm happy to go first.
Sure.
I'm going to go with FIFA 98, which is a soccer game. And the reason why, I mean, the FIFA games get plenty of press, right? Well, yes, Marcus?
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure FIFA is an unknown game, David. No one knows about FIFA at all.
But let me, I was getting to that, and then you cut me off and just repeated exactly what I said. So it's good to see you're listening, Marcus.
Yep.
So the FIFA games, for people who don't know, they come out every single year. So basically, like an iPhone, as soon as the next new one comes out, the last edition is useless. It has no use for it anymore. If you try to trade it into a game store, you have to pay them to take it. Nobody wants the old versions. Yeah. And that's why FIFA 98 stands out to me, because that's so long ago. It's 22 years ago now, but there are so many great elements in it. You can play indoor soccer and you can trip the keeper, which was like one of the last versions of that game. You can no longer trip the goalkeeper anymore, which was one of my favorite things to do in the game. And now it's not there.
Is this FIFA 98 Road to World Cup by any chance?
No, that came out the same year. Year.
See, I played with Road to World Cup, and there was a lot of, I think there was like a big head mode, like a DK mode, which is the classic thing at the time. It's like, what do we do to make this game seem more fun? Let's give everyone DK mode and make them big heads. It was in every video game.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure this is the version as well. See, I liked the FIFA game before. I think it was like an MS-DOS game or something like that. It was a FIFA game, but if you actually like pause the game at certain points, you can move the camera around the field and you can actually see referees peeing on the field.
What?
What?
Yeah, 100%. It's like a 2D sort of game. And there was a FIFA game where people would pee, like referees and players would pee on the field.
See, that's confusing because like a soccer match is 45-minute halves, right? Which is not a long time. If it was like a Tour de France simulator, fair enough. They can't stop. They have to do it on the bikes as they go. That makes no sense. That's added realism, but if somehow it makes the game less realistic.
Yeah.
Speaking of referees, I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, there was like a soccer match somewhere that was using some AI camera that was recording the video footage of the match, and the camera was set to follow the soccer ball, whichever way that it went up and down the field. But there was there was a referee that was the boundary referee that was standing basically closest to the camera, and he had a bald head, and every now and then the camera would spaz out and then turn back and like focus on this guy's head and would miss all of the action because this cue ball was standing on the line.
The camera like follows him to the bathroom and stuff. It's like, no.
Then they watched him pee. Yeah, then they watched him pee. So, I mean, like, maybe FIFA should incorporate some of that realism into their next one, into 2021.
And they can rename it PIFA.
Yeah, FIFA. Fair enough. All right. Well,
FIFA.
What's FIFA got for us?
FIFA has for us, how do I stop my wife from getting scammed so much? Around 6 months ago, my wife got a call from the Motor Vehicle Administration telling her that my new car wasn't ever registered and that I would be arrested if she didn't pay the registration fees immediately. She went to the store and bought a bunch of prepaid gift cards and gave the numbers to the scammers over the phone. Needless to say, this was an expensive lesson, but I thought my wife at least wouldn't fall for something like that again. Last week, she fell for an IRS scam. She was contacted and told that we made an error on our 2018 taxes and that we owed the IRS $25,000. They threatened jail time, taking our house, etc. My wife panicked and gave the scammers our joint account information. She called me after she did this, and thankfully I managed to cancel it in time. Quite simply, after going through this the first time, I cannot believe that she fell for another scam. The first time she refused to deal with it, so it was me who was calling our bank, etc. And now I'm forced into the same situation again through her negligence. Would I be wrong to ask for separate finances at this point? I don't feel secure knowing my money is in her hands. FIFA 98.
Ooh, FIFA 90. You know what? I feel for FIFA 98. I feel for FIFA 98 because not that my partner has done something like this, but there's been plenty of times, even recently, as recent as last week, where I get a message from her and saying, I've been left a voicemail and it's the ATO and which is our our tax service. And apparently like my taxes were overdue and I owe $10,000. I'm like, babe, that's a lie. Don't worry about it. They're not going to leave you a message. I'm like, don't worry. You're not in trouble. She goes, but they got cops outside the front apparently. I said, yeah. Do they know where you are?
They said they have a sniper watching me right now in the kitchen.
So aggressive.
I said, don't worry. That's not how they work. I've worked with them a lot. And if anything like that happens, just get me to talk to them. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, right.
It's like, okay,
Marcus has ATO on speed dial. Like he knows them personally. He's like, let me call Angus
Steve.
From the ATO. Steve from the ATO and I'll sort it out and I'll say, hey, leave my fiance alone. But this is the thing, right? People I think people know that these scams exist, right? They know that there's situations where you'll get someone pretending to be someone else. Like you see it on the news, on a current affair, you see it everywhere. So much to the point that even when you're at like a shopping center, they'll say there'll be things on the tills that saying if you're buying iTunes credit because someone's told you to pay an iTunes credit, don't do it. Like so, it obviously happens often, right? I feel like I've seen it before. It says like, just so you know, no one will ever ask to pay for things with iTunes gift cards, so don't do it. So it's a common thing, but. You still, when you get that call or you get an email, you see it and you're like, well, hey, am I actually going to get done? Like, am I in trouble? You worry and you panic.
And that's actually the reason why I picked this question, Tom, because the other morning, my girlfriend, I happened to be sleeping at the time. She basically like swatted the door down and woke me up. She's like, I've been hacked. Someone's got my information. Read this email. And she like shoved the phone in my face and I was half asleep. And it was like really threatening, the email as well. It's like, you don't know who I am, but I've been watching you, right? And which was already a creepy start. And then the thing that made me believe it is it actually said, to prove I've been watching you, here's one of your passwords. And it was actually one of my girlfriend's passwords that she uses. So then I woke up immediately. I'm like, okay, something pretty serious here. So I kept reading it. And then it went on to say, we've got access to your computer, which means we've got access to your webcam. And by the way, you have great taste in porn because we've been watching you and we have footage of you. And if you don't pay $1,000 in Bitcoin, we're going to release this footage to your family, your friends, etc. Right? But the thing is, when I got to that point, I was like, hang on. Why would my girlfriend be freaking about this unless she's been doing that at a computer? So I said to her, I was like, did you read this whole email? She's like, no, I just saw the password bit and freaked out. Yeah. And then I read that password and she started laughing. She's like, oh, okay, it's a scam. She's like, yeah, I don't do that. That's not something I do. So it's all good.
Can you imagine what they're doing? What they're doing is they're casting the net so wide. They're just like, look, we know that like there's a good chance that people are going to be accessing porn on their computers and it's going to be something that's going to threaten it. Like probably more people are going to be doing it than not. And I've gotten this email before as well. It's like a common scam thing. that comes
Right,
through.
yeah.
And usually what happens is it's because like a website has its data leaked and those passwords become publicly available, and they just find your email address and your password for, let's just say, I think one of the big ones was LinkedIn, because I think my one that I got it through was into a work email, and I was like, how is my work email being compromised? Because my work email was tied to my LinkedIn, and then I found out that LinkedIn was hacked and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, right.
it's a common thing that happens, and they're just like,